What's going on, everyone? Vampyr Gaming here, and I'm joined by Garrett, aka Nakama Mats, who came in first, undefeated 9-0 at the Carta Magica Treasure Cup, playing Roronoa Zoro. And I know a lot of people are like it's Unga Bunga deck. It's no skill, brain dead, whatever, whatever. But we're gonna talk about that. But congratulations, Garrett. How you feeling?
Thank you. I am feeling awesome. I think today I was definitely the luckiest player in the bracket. I think I've known for a while that I'm like at least an above average player and was just kind of waiting for that like perfect stars aligned kind of day where bracket was good, dice rolls were good, draws were good. So yeah, I'm feeling awesome.
Yeah, we're all waiting for that day. Well, do you remember your matchups for the day?
I do. Round one I played a Rayleigh, really close game. I think he kind of played off curve a little bit in the first couple turns, so the pressure just like kind of wasn't quite there to kill me. And I was able to close out with a Luna. You'll definitely notice a trend as I'm going through my matchups, so that's basically how every game ended.
Yeah.
Round two, I played a BY Nami. Also a close game. I actually lost to BY Nami in the finals at locals earlier this week, and then lost the rematch against my friend Jack, and was just like, okay, I got to figure this matchup out. Glad I did because won it today. Luna also won that matchup. It froze, I think like I played two Lunas throughout the game, and in total froze like eight Kumas and two Boas over the course of those two Lunas. Round three was a UP Luffy, another close game. I ended up kind of having to go for lethal a little earlier than I wanted to,
Mm.
and just got there. He drew bricks off Giant, and that was enough to win. Round four was a mirror match. I had four cost Zoro on curve in the mirror, and that pretty much seals it, honestly. Round five was a Kuzan. This was on stream. Normally that's a pretty close matchup, but he was super bricked up all game, and he just kind of like died on a turn. I wasn't even going for lethal.
That's how you beat Kuzan.
Yeah, exactly. Round six was a Blackbeard. I played Blackbeard twice today. I think this is a pretty favored matchup, and you can kind of just like win by drawing your events, which I did because they're all searchable. This one, I think, was my biggest Luna of the day. It froze a Lafitte Searcher, a Van Augur, a seven cost Blackbeard, and a Burgess. And that just like bought me so much time by freezing all of those. Round seven was against Impact on Rayleigh. Obviously, he's a really good player, but I won the dice roll and went second. And Yukimaru just kind of carried that matchup as it did with all three of my Rayleigh games today. Um, Round eight was Blackbeard, and this was another one that was on stream. I knew he had two Black Vortex in hand, basically the entire game. I think he searched it turn one and turn two. So I just kind of had to like play this really weird cat and mouse game the whole game, just trying to get those out of hand, and uh, did by the end. And then round nine was Rayleigh again, very similar to the other Rayleigh games. I had Gyukimaru into Toshigi on curve, and I think the whole game he was just kind of going face and ignoring both of those, which just gave me the chance to like basically fully clear or fully stun board every turn, and won that one with Luna as well. So I think like six, at least six, maybe like seven or eight out of nine games were won with a last turn Luna.
Got it. Yeah, no, those absolutely were one thing that caught me. And then I, of course, already interviewed Aaron, and he was like, yeah, it was like Luna's pretty crazy. So let's go ahead,
Yeah.
jump into the deck, and then you can kind of talk us through what led everything to where it is, because it's
Yep.
really spicy compared to like what we've seen so far.
Thank you. Credit on the spice to Roberto, bought his Medify guide, and I talked to him a lot on Twitter, so I got a lot of input from him on the deck.
I love Roberto. That's my guy.
So yeah, we got four Pronas, four Hioris. I don't think those are going anywhere. Just like staple searchers. They search all your characters and all your events, so basically the entire deck except themselves.
What are you prioritizing on those searches? Because they both search slash, right?
Slash and green events, yeah.
Yeah. What are you like in terms of like priority when you play those? What are you like? What are you like? Matchups aside, what is like generically what you're looking for? Is it just Tashigi, or like is there any instance where you're looking for Cavendish?
Yeah, generically it's just fill the curve. So if I'm going second, I play Hiyori. I'm probably searching for 4-drop Zoro or Gyukimaru. If I'm going first, I'm searching for Tashigi or Cavendish and just kind of like taking the better option of those two in the matchup that I'm in.
Got it.
I play two Koshiros. I feel like this card could be anywhere from 0 to 4. I think I played it like maybe twice today. It's best in the mirror and not like super good in any matchup besides that. But it's good protection from KO decks. I didn't play a Lucci or a Sokka today, but uh, pretty good card.
Gotcha. So with like the text for Rayleigh, did you just not worry about like mole pistol and things like that?
I did get mole pistoled by Impact. It hit Tashigi, but Yukimaru can't be mole pistoled when active. So there was a turn where I think I could tell that he was trying to like pressure my hand and then was gonna mole pistol because Yukimaru was rested. But I waterfalled out of an attack to restand him and then he couldn't mole pistol anymore.
I see. I see. He's cracked.
Yeah. Then we got three Zoros. This is really only for the mirror match. It's kind of good in like Kuzan, Yellow Kid, other like mid-range decks where just having a 4/6 on curve is good. Uh, yeah, solid card, but it really carries the mirror because they literally can't destroy it except for with Rashomon, which the one mirror I played today did Rashomon this, but in the mirror it can only really kill this. You almost never have two rested 4 costs, so paying 3 Dawn to kill one guy that probably already got like a 2K or maybe a life from the opponent is pretty good value because it's basically like a 3K counter and 3 Dawn to kill this guy.
Got it.
And then I played 3 Gyukimaru. This card basically like carries the Rayleigh matchup, and it's also pretty good against Shanks, Lucci, Yellow Kid, anything that's like trying to KO because it will always swing at least once because it can't be KO'd when active.
What
So
does he
between
do? What is Gyukimaru's full effect?
If this character is active, this character cannot be KO'd by your opponent's effects. When attacking, if you have a total of 3 or more given Dawn cards, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a base cost of 6 or less. So the ideal curve with this is like on 4, you play this, on 6, you play Tashigi, rest a small thing that this can then swing into, and rest a big thing that leader can swing into, and then attack lead.
That's diabolical.
But it also is like crazy good on your Mihawk turns because you don't really have a rester aside from Kuina if you play that can rest things um, after playing Mihawk, especially on your 8 Dawn turn. Like on 9, you can go Mihawk to Shigi, but on 8, if you Mihawk, you put like 4 rested on leader, then he can swing and like activate your leader effect basically. So this card was crazy today. Then we play 4 Cavendish, kind of just like a staple on any green deck with the Supernova archetype. Really good. Can't really say too much about it. Just restood Dawn all day and good card, and it's a 1K. Tashigi is the best card in the deck. Basically like what you mulligan for in almost every matchup. Activates your leader effect, and then it just swings 7 throughout the game if they don't remove it. And if they do remove it, they're like taking pressure off life, and you get like more time to close out the game, which Zoro is really good at. For Mihawk Blocker, this card is super good. There was one turn against Blackbeard today where he didn't have the resources to not die if he activated leader effect. And he like thought about it for a long time, so I knew he would have exact counter if I did try to go for game. Um, so when he didn't activate leader effect, then I could play Mihawk, get the Dom back. And um, other than that, it's not like super good into Blackbeard, but in basically every other matchup, it's what you want on 8 Dawn for sure.
Got it.
4 of the restand event. This card to me is basically just like the win condition of the deck. You want to play this as many times as you draw it, and you'll find like spots in basically every turn after maybe like 5 Dawn where it could be valuable. So I just want to see it every game,
Yeah.
and like ideally 2 to 3 every game.
One thing I struggle with was always whenever I played Zoro's, like, when is it ideal to use this card versus, like, obviously, like, establishing a threat? Like, what is the minimum number you're swinging with Zoro when you're using this card?
Even 8 is good, honestly. I think in one of the Blackbeard games, I think it's the one on stream, there was a turn where he played 10 cost Blackbeard, and I just like hard punished him with this because I knew he had the Black Vortexes in hand, so I knew like this might not get value the whole game, so I just played it twice, swung 999. He couldn't really block because it's just a free restand if he blocks, so I took 3 life that turn and then close it out the next turn.
Got it.
But yeah, I feel like it's good swinging into board also. Like you can kind of use it as a 3-drop removal if you just restand and like let's say you're swinging into a Cavendish in the mirror. A lot of times they'll give you 2-1 because they know you can't swing into it again, but then you do swing into it again and then you also take a life, so you like drain their hand and their board and their life at the same time with 1 card.
Got it.
Luna, definitely the MVP of the day. I feel like I might even up it to 4 from now on. I think it's just like the perfect meta for Luna. It's like amazing against the Mirror, Rayleigh, Green Purple Luffy, Yellow Kid, Kuzan, Blackbeard, Bonnie, Shanks. Like literally every deck plays a bunch of 7 cost to 5 cost ish range. So I basically wanted to see this every single game. So I would usually take it off searches, which also like is a pretty big mind game with opponents too, because they know they have it. So now you can't like swing with your whole board because it all gets rested and then all gets frozen. So yeah, I like to just like bait that this is in my hand and then it like seals up games a lot.
Yeah, and the fact that it's so searchable because all of your cards search it
Yes.
isn't. That was
And
like
the
the
trigger is,
biggest.
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say that was like the biggest challenge of it before, like in like green purple. Like it was like, yeah, it's great when you see it, but like you have to see it. But now it's
Yes.
like you just find it.
I have 8 searchers for it. Yeah. And the trigger to rest an opponent's character never came up today, but like basically a Veggie or a Red Hawk
Yeah, it's veggie
style
at
trigger
home.
that's like game winning if you hit it at the right time.
Yeah, yeah,
1-0 cost. Uh, yeah, it's just kind of like an extra counter. I might drop it for a 2K or something else. Trigger never came up. I think I only played it once today, but I didn't draw it very often because I only play one. Dead Man's Game. I think the only time I played this today was against both Blackbeard opponents. Otherwise, I played it as the 3K counter like 3 or 4 different times. I think just that like flexibility is really good. Just a really good card. 2 Paradise Waterfall. This card is really good with Mihawk, but it's more there's like more value you can get out of it as like a surprise card. A lot of times if you hold up 1 Dawn, people just expect it's Dead Man's Game for like a 3K to leader counter, and they'll just like poke at a guy, like swing 6 at a Cavendish or 5 at a Gyukimaru, and this just restands, and then their whole plan for the turn kind of goes away.
yep.
But getting a double block with Mihawk is also obviously good. And then I think all that's left are the 2Ks. Played 4 of this guy just because it kills Buggy. It's really all that it does, and it's slash, so it's searchable. 3 Tashigis. This card is obviously good, but there's just not a lot of opportunities to play it in this deck or in this meta. Um, I think like Kuzan and the yellow decks are the ones where this actually gets a lot of value, but other than that, um, I played it once today and it was kind of a misplay to do so. So yeah, wasn't like a huge fan of Tashigi, but kind of needs to be in the deck for some of those like removal-ish matchups. But especially against like Lucci and Sokka, they'll just remove it for free basically. So it's not even like good at its job in those matchups.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Mihawk 2K didn't come up at all today. I could see taking it out. The like goal behind this card was just that one extra Rayleigh tech of if I'm forced to go first and I have this and play
Play like Yukimaru.
Yukimaru rested, they'll like kind of have to swing into that, and then I'll probably save it, and then I have two guys that are attacking their little guys for the rest of the game.
Mm,
But only playing three of this and three of this, and I never had to go first against Rayleigh today. It just never came up.
got it. Awesome. Well,
Yeah, that's the
let's.
list.
I think first, obviously, want to kind of talk about. So, you just kind of talked about it, but in terms of like text, right? We're playing Luna, we're playing the Yukimaru, we're playing the Mihawk. What? And it feels like they've like overperformed. Like, what else was in consideration, and like what was really like cut to make room for those?
Good question. This is my not in the deck list here. So cut two Koshiros. Like I said, it just doesn't come up very often. Cut a Tashigi, cut a Mihawk. One of these was for the zero cost event, so I think that's just like a little more flexible. I didn't play a fourth Zoro, which I could have for the mirror. And then this is like the biggest point of deliberation for this deck to me. It's like which four drop you're going to play. Sorry, I'm
Mm-hmm.
facing cards the wrong way.
That's crazy. We haven't.
Between
None of us have played the Zoro.
Yeah, I played it a lot in testing, like basically every local and sim game that I played leading up to this. This was my preferred four drop, especially against Lucci and Sokka, just like free killing Uta and Rebecca. It's obviously really good. But I feel like for Rayleigh, it can't kill Buggy, and that's usually what they have on
Mm,
board the turn that I play this.
it's what we would like to
So
have.
yeah, exactly. Yukimaru just kind of did a little more than this could do in the Rayleigh matchup. Kuina, I would have liked to have for the Blackbeard matchup, but that's really the only one that it's like really good, and I think you can win that matchup without Kuina, so decided to cut it. The Enel tech, anywhere between 0 and 3 Hodis and Zoros. This is also kind of like the BY tech at the same time. Hody not being searchable and taking a life, I feel like this deck kind of needs to be ahead on life for most of the game, so
Yeah.
didn't feel great to me in testing, and I just decided to cut these and hope I dodge an L because it's not good in any other matchup, and did dodge an L, thankfully. And then fourth Luna and the second zero cost were the other cards I considered. This will probably go in the deck. This will probably not go in the deck.
With extra Luna in mind, is like Mihawk first on the chopping block, or you think like 2Ks are still going to be like cycled out with other 2Ks?
Probably keep the 2K count that I have, which was 10 2Ks and one zero cost. I feel like I've seen a lot of Zoro players play like a full 12 2Ks and a zero cost, or 12 2Ks, no zero cost. I don't think you need quite that many because there's really not many bricks at all in this deck except for Luna, Mihawk, and Tashigi. So this, I felt like it was pitching a 1K more often than not, so it could have just been any other 2K. I think X Drake 2K is the one that I'll probably put back in.
Got it. And then when mulliganing, like what are you looking for overall? Like what are the key things that signal we keep this hand?
Good question. If these two cards are in it, it's like a keep no matter what for the most part. You just want like something to do and search in the early game, and you need this on 5 or 6 Dawn against basically every matchup. There's some matchups where you know they're probably not going to have something worth Tashigiing on their 4 Dawn turn or their 5 Dawn turn, in which case Cavendish is better. Those are like kind of the other mid-rangey matchups like Kid or Kuzan, in which case this is better. But yeah, these are like the 3 cards you're looking for in your opening hand. If I'm going second, I'll keep a hand with Mihawk because I know I'll get to play it. And I'll keep a Luna in basically every matchup as well.
Now, let's say you're
Yeah, so
going second and you only see Perona and Mihawk. Are you keeping that hand?
no, I'll mulligan. I need one of these two for sure.
Okay.
If it's like, I think at one point today I kept a hand that was like those 3 and 2 2Ks or something like that. In which case, I do keep that because I'll have 15 cards to find Tashigi and the time to play them. So,
Got
um,
it. And
yeah.
then what instances are you playing? Like, what were there any like today, or just any from like just your playing where you play Cavendish over Tashigi on like five?
If they don't have anything to rest, obviously I'll play Cavendish. Or if the thing that I would be resting is not valuable, like a searcher. Sometimes if it's against Rayleigh and like all they have is a 3 cost Sanji, I'm not like super concerned into swinging into that right away. Or like a Sengoku against Kuzan, or Hawkins against the yellow decks. Um, just kind of like depends on the value of the card that they have on board. If it's low or nothing, then I'll play Cavendish.
Got it. And then what do you think is Zoro's worst matchup this format?
An L by far, so I'm glad I dodged that. They
Please
basically
fake.
can just
Please fake.
starve you the whole game and heal you the whole game, and then you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Second worst matchup's probably Rayleigh, and I felt like I had a high chance of seeing that today versus an L, so I like teched hard for Rayleigh and not for an L.
And it worked out. It worked out. Yeah, I don't think it's
Yeah,
worth teching for an like Anel's so small in comparison. Like to go
yeah,
first teching for like Rayleigh, which is probably incredibly highly represented, like top
yeah,
three.
exactly. At locals, tech for an L. At like a big tournament, tech for Rayleigh.
Yeah, yeah. There's always that Anel player at locals too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Cool, awesome. And then, so what do you think is like your the best matchup? The one thing you want to see sit across from you?
Probably Blackbeard, just because as long as you see a Dead Man's Game or 3 cost event, you probably win. Um, Other than that, I like the mirror because I play the slashy Zoro that's good in the mirror, and I like knew that I have a lot of matchup experience in that. Um, yeah, probably those two, the mirror and
What tip? So you mentioned you really like the mirror. What tips would you give someone in the mirror, or where do you think people are going wrong when they play the mirror?
the mirror pretty much comes down to like how many turns you get value out of your slash Zoro. Like in the one mirror I played today, it got a 2K out of hand because it swung 6. It took a life because it swung 7, and then the next turn it got Rashomon. So it basically got a 2K and a 3K counter and 3 Dawn and a life, which is just like insane value for a 4 cost on curve. And then I think just like playing your Tashigis and your Mihawks on curve, defending your Cavendish if it gets rested by Tashigi, um, and then just finding the opportune time to Luna in the mirror is also really important.
Got it. Awesome. Well, with that, is there what is your like ideal turns look like, right? Like again, everybody like what is how are we curving out? Like what's the ideal curve for the deck?
Yeah, so turn 1 or 2, it's always a searcher if you have it. Turn 3 or 3 Dawn, I ideally will either have another searcher or just swing 5/5 with Perona. 4 Dawn if you're going second, you want one of those two. 5/6 Dawn, you want one of those two. And then 8 Dawn, you want Mihawk. And basically from then on, you're just like chaining Mihawks and or events and just pressuring their board and their life at the same time, which is why I love this leader. I've always been like a very tempo-y player, just like swing at board and then any leftover swings can go at life and just kind of like win the game over time that way. But Zoro is like the perfect deck because it can just do both of those things at the same time every turn.
Got it. And then how are we closing out games? So we build up to this. What is in game usually like look like for you? Is it Dead Man's Game? Do you want to see the double swing event? When are we turning that Mihawk sideways, and how are we like pushing for that final?
Yeah, it's always one of these three cards. So in the finals against Rayleigh, I played a Luna and he just kind of sat on his turn for a while and thought and then scooped because there was nothing he could do. Um, so I think there's just so many matchups where it just shuts down the pressure so hard that they can't possibly kill you. And they know that you probably have this or this and can kill them. Or even without this, you can probably kill them if you have like Mihawks and Tashigis on board. This card just lets you swing huge twice, sometimes three times. So I think this is like the other common game ender. And against decks with counter events, this is your game ender. Basically just Hody on an event.
Got it. Cool. Well, thank you so much for that. To kind of just wrap things up here, do you have any words for the people who think that this deck is just unga bunga, no skill?
I do think there is a lot of skill involved, surprisingly. I think like the idea of just going for board and going for face simultaneously gives it like a bad reputation because it like just feels too strong. But knowing how big to swing, where to start your swings, kind of baiting with your events, what to rest, when to play your guys, there's like a lot more decision making than it seems like there would be.
I agree, 100%. I just want somebody else to say it. No, I just want to get them riled up. They're like,
Yeah,
hey, ate
yeah,
it, ate it, my body, ate it, face. No,
yeah. There's
no.
Yeah, there's so much cool stuff you can do with this leader effect, like just like swinging five with leader or six with leader, seven with leader, and they think like, oh, okay, he's not using leader effect, but then I like restand with the event or put another Dawn on, and then I can suddenly restand. There's like
I've done that a
so many,
lot. Then
yeah,
attach another one just to restart. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Because you got to see how they react. If they don't do what you want,
yeah,
then you're not gonna do it. But if they give you what you want, then
yeah,
you're like, ah.
yeah. It's a good like mind game deck, which I like, and
I
it's
agree.
also not like as mentally taxing as like Sokka. So there are benefits to playing like a more linear deck in a big tournament like this too.
Makes sense. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time here, Garrett, and congrats once again on the W. Any shout outs?
Of course, yeah. Shout out to my wife. She hung out with our 4-year-old all day solo
Real
so I
one.
could play
Real one.
this. Yeah.
Upgrade the rock.
Um,
Sell the sheet, upgrade the rock.
yeah, we'll do. We're going on vacation next week for our 10-year wedding anniversary, hoping I can sell some of these prize cards to recoup that. Shout out to the Colorado scene. That's where I'm from. We have a lot of really strong players here, and I felt like it was only a matter of time before one of us really like popped off. And special shout out to my testing and friend group, the Dinner Dudes, and especially Usher for hanging out with me all day. And shout out to everyone I played today. Everyone was super nice and just a lot of really fun, close games all day.
Awesome. Amazing. Well, thank you so much. And yeah, definitely go check out Nakama Mats. He's got some really cool
Yes,
stuff on there.
nakamamats.com. I design play mats that I just give away the designs for free that you can print yourself at any like playmat printer. So I love just like going to regionals, big tournaments, and just seeing people I've never met before have my designs. So yeah, download a mat.
Absolutely. Well, we'll hopefully we'll have you back again and appreciate your time.
Thank you. Nice talking.